let's talk about visualization. Visualization is one of the most important topics when it comes to manifesting, and it has certainly created some questions among the students of the law of assumption. One of them being whether or not visualization is absolutely necessary to manifest. And I'm going to clarify that in this video because a lot of people think that visualization and imagination are the same thing. They are not far apart, but they are not. And I want to specifically clarify this because I myself say imagination creates reality often in my videos. So we are going to talk about what imagination is and what visualization is compared to that. And that is going to clarify a lot of things for you when it comes to what methods to use when you are manifesting. That is one thing. Another thing I want to talk about in this video is how to actually visualize to make sure that you are doing everything correctly so that it becomes a foolproof method, because I don't like doing things that could work, could not work. If it's not 100% sure that it's going to work, I am not doing it, and I don't want you to do it either. So we are going to talk about the best way and the most, the secure way, I guess, to visualize so that you know that you're doing it correctly and you're going to experience the exact outcome that you want. And I also want to mention Neville Goddard in this video, and Neville Goddard versus visualization, I guess, because a lot of people talk about Neville Goddard as if Goddard equals visualization and all he taught was visualization, which is also not exactly correct. So we are going to just clarify some things around visualization so that you have the tools that you need if you decide to do this wonderful, wonderful technique, actually. So welcome to my channel. My name is Anna and I'm a manifestation coach. On this channel, I teach the law of assumption as taught by Neville Goddard, while also keeping it simple and practical so that you can take it and apply it to your own manifestations right away. If that's what you are looking for, you are definitely in the right place. So please subscribe and stay for more. And if you need any additional help for your manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching. The link is in the description box below. So the first thing, let's talk about first of all, is visualization absolutely necessary for you to manifest? No, it's not, but it's a wonderful tool. If you can't visualize, and I know that some people say they just can't visualize. First of all, keep in mind that your visualization, imagination, I'm going to clarify that in a moment. Please stay with me. Bear with me. I am going to make sense in a moment. I promise that. Your imagination is infinite. Everything that we feel limited in is a self-imposed limitation. You are inherently limitless. And especially in your mind, your mind, your imagination is limitless. So consider the idea that you might be the one limiting yourself in this. So maybe you can visualize, you're just maybe not trained in it. But we are not going to force anything on you. Some people actually just don't like it. I don't know, taste, I guess. But if you are one of those people who either can't visualize. I have had, by the way, this video was inspired by a question that I received from one of you guys who was asking me if it is necessary to visualize because this person couldn't visualize and it didn't feel good. So, and I've also had clients who couldn't visualize or didn't like it. So just because you can't do a technique doesn't mean you can't manifest. So if this is you and visualization is just not your thing for some reason, it is not necessary to visualize to manifest. You can manifest in other ways, and this is where imagination comes in. Imagination and visualization are not exactly separate, but they are not the same thing. Visualization is part of your imagination, but imagination includes everything else also. If you can't visualize, you can, for example, have inner conversations without the visuals, just the voices, and manifest like that. You can, for example, if you are manifesting food or drinks or whatever, or even your specific person, you can use your smell and taste senses, your touch sense, tactile, what is it called? Any sense that you experience the 3D with can be used in your imagination to manifest. Plus your thoughts, which are affirmations. So if you don't want to visualize, you don't have to. You can use any other senses to impress your subconscious mind with the idea that your manifestation is already yours. So that's that. Imagination basically is the whole non-physical part of you. You are always in your mind imagining something, whether you visualize it or not. So yes, you can manifest using any other sense in your imagination. So how to visualize, actually, to make it foolproof? And we know this from Neville Goddard, specifically Neville Goddard, that it is when you imagine something, especially let's specifically talk about visualizing, but it goes the same for every other method that you use, including affirmations. Your story needs to be told as if it's already happening now, and that is the reason we affirm in present tense. I am. So it is already. I am already that person. That thing is already mine. Whatever. However you affirm your affirmations, it is always, almost always. There are times that you could just quickly. There are times you could use future tense temporarily just to get rid of resistance. If the present tense creates more resistance, you can temporarily use future tense, and then when you calm down, come back to present tense again. But the best way of affirming is present tense. And in the same way, everything that you visualize needs to be visualized as if it is happening now, and it needs to be visualized as exactly the way that you would experience it in the 3D. Therefore, it needs to be visualized through your own eyes, the famous first-person perspective. That is the perspective that really creates this feeling of you being there, it being real, and you experiencing it. The famous feeling it real. It's this feeling of you are experiencing it right now, right here. That is very important for any method that you use. So when you visualize, make sure you do it from your own eyes, like first person perspective. Now you will hear coaches that say, oh, don't worry about that. Third person perspective works too. Could work, but it could also not work. The reason I say that could work, could not, 50-50, depends on how you maybe feel while visualizing, and I don't know, other factors. I don't recommend doing it because your subconscious doesn't analyze what you are doing. It's not going to judge or analyze. It's going to replicate what you are visualizing, in this case, into the 3D world. I have a success story about manifesting a book that is, I'm going to link it down below. I used visualization to manifest it, and it is one of the most precise examples of how again, precise manifestation is. It's copy paste. Your mind is not going to give you something like that. It's going to give you exactly what you imagine and what you impress on your subconscious mind. So therefore, imagining third person is quite risky, especially if you're imagining something important, like your specific person, or like a house or car, or anything important that you are manifesting. Which the risk is that you are going to experience that in the same way that you imagine it. So third person perspective, so your SP being with someone. That is a risk I wouldn't take with any manifestation. Unless you want to try this with useless stuff like, I don't know, a coffee or anything that won't change your life. But again, I don't recommend. It's going to potentially be waste of time and energy, and potentially experiencing your manifestation third person point of view. So watching someone else getting your manifestation, that is, again, a risk I wouldn't take with any manifestation. You don't want to do it. There's no reason for you to do that when you can actually bring your image back to your own sight and see it from your own eyes. You might as well do that now that you're visualizing, right? So that's that. And for going back to the first thing I was saying, if you don't like visualizing, or if you don't think you can visualize, or for those of you who want to visualize, who would like to, but you don't think you're good at it, it's not working for you, you can train yourself to visualize. You can start with something, keeping in mind all those, I don't want to call those rules, but maybe we could call those rules. Let's just do it for the sake of this video. Keeping in mind the rules that go with visualization. Specific scene implies that your manifestation has happened, seen through your own eyes. So, and I also suggest clearing your mind first, the famous SATs, but not necessarily. You can do it during the day, relaxing a bit. This is the best way, I think, to get rid of resistance, because when you are in a relaxed state, whether it's the perfect SATs or just full concentration, relaxed, everything else is out of your mind, you could use meditation for this, just for a couple of minutes. That removes resistance also, because you're in this beautiful, nice, relaxed state, and then you bring in your visualization. And your mind will wander, just like it does when you affirm. You bring it back. Your mind goes to third person point of view. You bring it back. This is a literal training session. At some point, every time you notice your mind is doing something you shouldn't be doing while visualizing, you just realize it and you bring it back. Again, just like you do with affirmations, your mind go to places you don't want to experience, or it's not the topic you're affirming. You just bring your attention back to your affirmations and you start focusing on that. You do the same thing with visualization, and you have patience with yourself. At some point, you're going to train your mind to visualize first person perspective, having more focus. Your concentration is also going to be trained. This is really about training, and if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You can use any other sense that is easier for you, comes more naturally, and you enjoy it more, or you can affirm. Now, for the last part of this video, let's talk about Neville Goddard and visualization. It is true that Neville Goddard talks a lot about visualization because, again, I have to say from own experience also, but also because I really enjoy visualization. I think it's a wonderful, wonderful technique, but I have trained myself to use all the other senses also. So if I need to have a conversation, I for me, it goes down to concentration, my focus. And this is what you can train also together with the specific method. I can fully enjoy a conversation, hearing someone's voice, or I can fully enjoy the smell of good food or flowers or whatever it is. It creates the sense of experience, so you really enjoy it. And the same with visualization. It can be a wonderful technique. But Neville Goddard talked about every other method that we know. I don't know why people focus on so much on visualization only when it comes Neville, and some coaches make it sound like that's all Neville Goddard taught. It's not true. There are lectures where he talks about thoughts, repeating thoughts over and over again. And I don't know how people came to forget these lectures, because you also hear some Neville Goddard teachers online say that affirmations don't work and stuff like that. Don't worry about that. It's not true. Neville Goddard taught everything. He taught inner conversations. He taught repeating thoughts, so affirmations. I'm not sure he actually called it affirmations. He probably did, but he talked about thoughts, repeating a thought over and over again. Inner conversations, feeling, which is a topic for another video. Actually, let me know in the comments if feeling it real and the feeling in manifestation is something that interests you. I would like to make a video about it. It's one of another great topic to talk about and to clarify maybe if it's needed. And yes, Neville Goddard taught about everything, including visualization. And yes, he probably focused a bit more on visualization, but everything else is included in his lectures, books. He has an infinite amount of texts to read. So Neville Goddard doesn't exactly equal visualization. Neville Goddard equals imagination creates reality, and imagination being your God. Imagination being your non-physical part that includes visualization. It includes all other senses also. So, and thoughts and feelings. Everything that is non-physical of you is capable of manifesting if used correctly from the end and repeated until it's impressed, etc. So I really hope that this video clarified visualization for you. Let me know if you're going to give it a try, or let me know if you are actually visualizing to manifest. I think it's a wonderful method, but other senses are also really, really enjoyable if you focus on them and actually get the full experience of it, which is the point of doing any method, technique to manifest. I am going to link my video about techniques and how to know if a technique is going to work, which is going to be very related to this topic. It's going to be right here. And once again, if you need any additional help with your manifestations, I do offer one-on-one coaching, and see you in the next video.